Yeah, so here we've got an engine model. What are you doing right here? You said about
sure.
another.
So we have parts
engine.
to test 2 electric drive modules in here in Bay 3. And we're also interested in doing a biodiesel, a methanol, and an ethanol setup. Right now we have a gasoline setup, and you're looking at it.
For the electrical, you talk about battery storage?
Is in charging back? And is in during the
No, what's the power source for the electric motor?
We're considering hybrid as well as
hybrid?
battery storage. We've got people who've come forward who are willing to help us develop it. Again, it's a little bit a matter of time. It might be nice to have some money to throw at least parts their way. But Manzanita Micro in Kingston, for example, has told us they would supply us with a very sophisticated loaner electric module. We really just need to get over there, take a ferry ride, and spend a day in the shop with them. It might happen soon. Hybrid's also very interesting. A lot of team members. It's least simple of all. It's very complex.
It's the most complex.
Yeah. Okay.
So what else is about the battery chemistry? Was that what you were asking about?
No, I was just asking what you're using to power this. Is it hybrid or batteries?
Oh, so this is pure gasoline, and the other one is a pure battery play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So here in Bay 4, so Bay 3 is composites and then engine work. Bay 4 is metal machining and welding. So here is an engine module stub. It's 40 inches by 40 inches by N tall, as tall as you want to go. There's advantages if it's less than 25 inches tall, but it can go as high as it needs to. In this bay, we have a milling machine we got for $400 on Craigslist, and then that red bandsaw, which was $89 with the coupon new from Harbor Freight. With those 2 pieces of equipment, we can make any part of the car. So with these 2 pieces of machinery, we make cars. Now there's other tools that make it faster, like that aluminum bending brake is helpful, and the CNC router is helpful. Those make different parts go even faster. But with a milling machine, which is just a drill press with enough, I'm sure you know Martin, but just enough extra strength to also mill side to side instead of just plunge, right? Which was not very expensive. And then the bandsaw, we can make any part of the car we make.
And if you know anybody who's working on an open source milling machine, we'd like to talk to them soon.
You're talking to them.
Yeah. I think life is about to get awesome.
I know I am.
So awesome. Up above our heads is enough aluminum stock to make 2 more cars. And then over in the sheet stock is enough sheet aluminum to make 2 more cars, and then fire retardant foam and polycarbonate, etc. And then down under the router is enough carbon fiber and epoxy to make 2 more cars, and then there's 2 more engines. So we're set up here right now, capitalized and with the parts in hand, to develop 2 more prototypes is how this shop sits right now here in Linwood, Washington.
How many pounds of fiber are required per car?
With the epoxy, it's about 45 pounds. So I'm not sure.
And epoxy is what, about half?
Probably a little more in our application because we don't squeegee it out too aggressively. I'd have to look at the bill of materials. But here's a chassis. This is chassis number 5. It's 124 pounds and it costs us $540 to make.
How many pounds?
120. So this is the lightest, strongest thing we know about to meet road legal safety spec. As mentioned, we now attach side crush modules, front crush and rear crush modules, and then roll hoops. And with that assembly, it's the lightest thing we know about in the world. And look, it's 14 parts. That's
I would like to know,
14.
First, why nobody has done this previously in the history of cars.
Yeah, I would love to know the answer to that myself.
Excellent. Next topic. So carbon fiber, about $20 a pound?
Sure, and there's also ways to, we only use it for aerodynamics, and there's a few parts, but most of the structure is aluminum. So the carbon is the aeroshell. So if people are okay with weighing a little bit more, they can press thin plywood and steam it. They can use shredded bamboo and wet it out with sap. I mean, it's not at all required to be carbon. We use carbon because it's the lightest, strongest, highest energy absorptive material people know about right now. And it also happens to be something we're good at working with now.
Does it contribute to the crash testing? No.
No, we intentionally don't use it during crash tests so that the body is modular.
Yes.
We want to be able to switch the body without having to reevaluate the car.
Yeah, epic.
So you don't even have to have a body on the car to drive it around. It can be kind of like an open top SUV.
Is that legal actually?
It is. Now, yes, it is. Like a Jeep Wrangler without doors on and roll bars. Yeah, it's somewhere. Or Michigan, where people just drive dune buggies around, which is awesome. But we've driven the car around without a body on quite a bit. Now the disadvantage is over 45 miles per hour, your fuel efficiency begins to suffer.
Okay.
So having an aero shell really improves when we're talking about highway speeds.
So the other part of the piece of equipment is a TIG welder. So what do you recommend? What's the lowest price you can get that for?
So this Everlast unit, and Everlast, for full disclosure, we bought one, liked it so much, we said, would you please sponsor us? And they sponsored us with another one. So they gave us one, which is in our Michigan shop. This is the one we bought. It was $1,500. And as a TIG welder that runs on household 220, 240 volt, 220 volt or 240 volt, it's excellent. It's completely excellent. It's $1,500. I'm an enormous fan of it, or a machine of similar capacity or capability would be amazing. We used to use this Miller welder, this Trailblazer. The advantage of it is that it has a generator, so we didn't have to have any electrical power. We could do it from a trailer.
Is this one, the $1,500 machine, how many amps is that?
Oh, well,
Whichever it is.
On the back.
Its draw from the house, I think, is 20 amps peak.
Okay.
Now, it oscillates up to 480 volts, and it changes its final output amps.
That's sufficient to weld this
For
effectively.
complete structural, welds. Yeah, this $1,500 TIG machine, and
Those
we
welds
love
were
it
made
too.
by this
Would you
Now
prefer
this-
having a higher power machine? Or no,
This machine already has more capacity than we need. We
Wow.
no longer use this massive Miller machine. It's actually going to be sold to generate some revenue for us. This
How
guy
much
is
are you selling it
overkill,
for?
and in fact, it is compatible with our CNC machine. So we can put its torch in our CNC machine and actually CNC TIG weld. We haven't done it yet, but it's compatible with it. So a further evolution is we can actually CNC these cars with this machine, which is awesome. Computer numerically controlled for the folks who might not be familiar.
Of course.
Yeah, and so that's the shop, Bay 1, 2, 3, 4.
Excellent.